Hello, welcome back. We're back on the Mighty Mac rototiller, and where we left off was with the carburetor, and I figured out what the problem was on the carburetor and the governor, and it was this butterfly valve. The arm was flipped the opposite way. It was, I don't know if you can see it, this arm right here was on this side and the rod came up, and that was causing, instead of it closing the butterfly valve, it was opening it, which was self-destruction. So what I did was I took the butterfly valve out, the flapper, one screw, slid it out, flipped the shaft around that the arm is now the other way, and put the butterfly valve back in the flapper and put the screw back in, and she purrs like a kitten. But and that all happened off camera. I solved that. While we were gone, or while you guys were gone, some of the parts came in, and one of them is this hose, which we can now install. As soon as we get this old one out. There we go. Okay, that's the old one. You can tell it was factory because it still had white paint on it, and the rubber's a little stiff. So the new one came. Yeah, it's a little shorter, but they solved that problem by they slit it and put a piece of tubing in there, and now it's universal. So that end comes off, and just gotta loosen this up a little bit. Can't get a grip. Let me get pliers. Good old trusty needle nose. Grip on that. There we go. Pull that tube out a little bit. Put this back on. And this goes in here. There we go. Yep, she's in. And now we can put the carburetor back on. I'll put this rod back in. Slip that back around. Gotta get this to slip back in down here and back in up here. And there we go. Now put the bolts back in. that one started. And then we'll get that one started. And we'll put this bottom one up and underneath here back in. That started. Oh, that's going to be a problem. I think that's going to be a problem. Yeah, I think that might be a problem. Well, if you saw it from my view, down inside here, that metal tube that came inside of this hose, well, when I go to move this to get it to go into the hole on the air cleaner, that metal tube goes against the linkage for the carburetor, and that's going to stall the governor out. That ain't good. Alright, well, we're going to have to come up with something different here. So, what I'm thinking, if I cut this tube here and then here, and I'll use a little bit of the tube from this old one just to lengthen the new one a little bit, might be able to bend it around that it'll go around the linkage. So let's do that. Let's see, I think I have a pipe cutter here somewhere. Yes, I do. So if we cut this a little shorter, oh, you gotta love it when things don't go as according to plan. There we go. Okay, that's one. I'm thinking another one. About we'll go about a half of that. Okay, we'll stick that in this end. And then we'll cut some off of this. Get a cutters. I'm gonna go with scissors. Yeah, just in case there's enough there if I have to cut another piece. Slip that into there. There. There we go. And it doesn't pose to be rubbing or anything. Here, I'll show you. I don't know how well you could see it. But that hose does not rub against the throttle linkage or stop it in any way. So I'm satisfied with that. And now we can put this back together. Put this. Guess I shouldn't have put this bolt in yet. And now we gotta take that back out. Because the rod here for the air cleaner has to get bolted up there. And that slips in between, like so. Oh, there it is. A little trouble getting it to start. It's can't get a good grip on it to get it to turn. Like right when I get it started, I have to let go to get the next turn on. And then it drops. Let's see here. Yeah, I got it. So one of the other things I did while off camera, I just remembered to start filming was I switched the tiller tines from the permanently mounted tiller tines that were on here. It was like a flat disc with pedals. And I torched them off and turned the shaft down on the lathe to get the remainder of them off. And then I ordered these 1/4-inch steel square plates. And using one of the mounts, one of the tiller tine mounts off my Simplicity, I was able to drill the center hole here with a hole saw, and I drilled these 4 holes, and I did all 4 plates. And I had ordered used tiller tines from a Simplicity rototiller. They're used, but they're not wore out. They're about half. They were cheap. They were $4 plus shipping, which was like $12 for shipping. I'm trying to keep the cost down because I do intend to sell this, and the cheaper I keep things, the more profit I'll make. So the plates were $4 a plate. So it was 4 plates. I drilled all the holes, and then the hardware, the bolts, and then the tiller tines. And then, so now this is set up. You can use Simplicity tiller tines off of a Simplicity rototiller, which are easier to come by, and other brands use them also. So now, instead of having to replace the shaft and the tiller tine and everything all in one piece, which is how this Mighty Mac was, now it just takes some bolts off and you can just change out these tines as you need to. So you don't have to replace the whole thing. Say the inside ones wear out before these outside ones do, and they still have some life left on them. Well, now you can just change the inside ones and continue running the outside ones until they're ready. So it's cheaper for the customer in the long run. The other thing I did was let me go back over to the other side. Whoop, almost lost you. Off camera also, there it is. I tightened this bolt up because when you submerge the tiller into the ground, this would kick out of gear. So this is your main drive clutch system, and then this rod over here is just for your wheel drive. So you can engage the wheel drive and it won't do nothing until you engage the main clutch, which is this rod here, which connects to this fulcrum lever, to another rod, to another fulcrum, and then down here to these 2 pulleys right here. There. I don't know if you can see them there. Spread the belt. Anyway, they're right there. And it would kick out of gear. So you had to constantly hold that clutch in and try to operate the machine. So I tighten this up so it makes this move a little bit harder so it won't just pop out of gear. and it should keep going. And then for the wheel drive, I also adjusted that a little tighter so that doesn't pop out of gear. And the next thing we got to fix on this is we got to get this belt's fine. This is your reverse belt for backing up, but we want to run and get 2 replacement drive belts. These are pretty old. They're cracking. There's cracks down in here. They're worn out to be like spaghetti straps, and I think they should be a little bit wider. So we're going to replace these, and we're going to give this an oil change. So we got to do an oil change. We got to do these belts, and we have a little bit of welding to do up on the front here. I'll show you here. You see it from there. Now you should be able to see it. This is cracked. You can see the crack going along there, and I don't know if they hit something or what they did, how they bent that and cracked it. They welded it, and then they did it again. They bent it and cracked it. And that whole, this weight on the front is your counterweight, and that's only on this little piece of 1/4-inch steel plate. And I don't know if they hit something or something hit this or what, but it bent it up, and it bent the metal, and it flexed enough that it cracked it. So, and then these 2 mounting bolts are missing. So what I'm going to do is we're probably going to end up pulling the engine. We're going to take this weight off, and we're going to take the back 2 bolts out of this mounting plate, and we're going to grind this old weld off, and we're going to gouge it out. We're going to clamp some angle iron on the bottom to hold it straight again. We're going to weld it, and we're going to flip it over and gouge it out and weld the bottom side. And I'm thinking about gusseting it to give it a little bit more strength. So I'll gusset from here up, and same over here. That should reinforce this in the front, and then put it all back together. So that's something we're also going to do before it goes. But I would like to have this done this weekend. So this won't be just this video. There's going to be, I'm probably going to do maybe 1 or 2 more videos, maybe even 3, and they're all going to come out at the same time with this one. So I'm going to leave off at this point with this video. And then I'm going to do each, like this here weld repair. This will be a video. The belts and probably the oil change will be another video. And, you know, whatever else I have to finish up on this. So this is where we're going to let off. And, yeah, that's where we're at on the Mighty Mac. And I'd like to have this done this weekend because we have a Simplicity snowblower needs a pull cord. This one's fraying, and we also have to make up a new bracket for here. This was just a quick repair. The bolt broke, and then the turnbuckle that would tighten that up got lost. So we're gonna make a new turnbuckle up, copying the one that remains on the other side. So that'll be maybe another video that I might do, maybe not, I don't know. But I got this to work on, and we also have This push mower, and over there we have another rototiller that I'm not sure if I want to even fix it or if I just want to part it out, because it needs a lot of parts to put the engine back together. Plus it's going to need belts, and it's going to need a new wheel in order to flip it and sell it. And you know, I found one just like it on the internet on Marketplace, and it's only selling for, they're asking $30 for it. And you know, if they're not selling it at $30, and it's a front till, it's not a rear till. Most people want the rear till, and that are self-propelled. They don't want to struggle fighting to get one of those things through the garden. I mean, they're all right for if you're just going to cultivate between like rows of corn and that, but I mean, $30 and it ain't selling. I don't know. I think I might just part that out and just advertise it. It's not a name brand I ever really even heard of. It's not like popular like Simplicity or Wheel Horse or Snapper or anything like that. It's a name I never really even heard of. I only found one other like it on the internet, and I think I might just part that out. Probably on eBay. The tiller tines are really good on it, so I think I might just part it out. I'm sure somebody out there might be looking for parts. Probably keep the engine as a parts motor. I mean, it's a good engine, but I mean, it's just missing so much. The flywheel's missing, the coil's missing, the shroud's missing, the rope pull is missing. You know, there's just so much missing on it, and I don't know. Until I track everything down and buy it and put it together, you know, I gotta be under. I bought the thing for $25, so I already got $25 into a non-running rototiller. I think I'll be better off just parting it out, because I'm not gonna get. I mean, I could post it for $30, but I'm not gonna make no money on it then. So it's either fix it for myself, or keep it for myself, which I really don't really need it, and or part it out. So I'm on the fence about that right now. So this is where I'm going to let off on this video, and then I'll pick up with another one shortly. So all right, take it easy. Have a nice weekend.